In the heart of Makola sits the statue of Mantse Tackie Tawiah, overlooking the Rollins Park in Accra. Historians have described him as an illustrious king of the Ga people. But what do young Ga people know about this prominent king? I sampled some views.
Actually, like Mantse, but only like how been able to Mantse.
Like Mantse dile, eke ganje ayawaso keba gankupanen.
Le no go was.
Oba ni mili.
Mantse Tackie no ni leji kenklen Mantse ni wona yega. Ni age fagbe ni fagbe awomia gamele nle ameju omoshi ame lino ni gbe una me pa e Mantse de ame gani ti ega no ko ba.
There you have it. Disappointing, isn't it? So, I bring you some history about a king loved and revered by his people. I will tell the story with the help of historian at the Asrem Mantse Palace, Reverend Dr. Jesse Ankra. King Tackie Tawiah was born in 1817 as Ni Kwashi Tawiah into the Ga royal family of Tekochuruwe at Kinka. He attended the Wesley Methodist School. Prior to his installment, he was a successful merchant operating in several African countries.
Succeeding chiefs of Accra must learn from Mantse Tackie Tawiah. He was educated. He worked as a merchant. And records show that he even went to Tamale, went to Sierra Leone, came to what today we call Ivory Coast to work. He crossed into what today we call Togo and even into Nigeria. He was working. He wasn't selling lands. He worked. So we want chiefs to understand that even though they are chiefs, they must work. He encouraged people to be educated. So, chiefs, learn from your old king.
In 1862, he ascended the Ga throne, and soon after, he led his people to resist the British attempt at introducing taxes.
The British had to introduce a form of a tax. The king rose against the tax because if he owned the land and had given portions of the land to his own people to live on, and his people were progressing, expanding, and getting enlightenment, why should the Ga people be made to pay taxes, not to King Tackie Tawiah, but taxes to the British? So he rose against this very thing.
King Tackie Tawiah felt the British were deceitful, so he vowed never to cooperate with them. The British wanted to capture the golden stool of the Ashantis. They wanted Mantse Tackie Tawiah to contribute men to fight the Ashantis, but he refused.
The Ashanti stool, which is described as the golden stool, must be taken from the Ashantis so that the British could be in charge of this very stool. Already he had opposed most of the trickery advices the British were bringing in. And now you want to go into somebody's kingdom using him as the king of Accra to enter into Ashanti and take the Ashanti spirit. He said no, he will not permit that. And this happened during the administration of one of the governors called Governor Hodgson. Governor Hodgson.
To the Gold Coast governor, Sir Frederick Hodgson described him as an uncooperative king, so he was exiled to Elmina from November 1880 to March 1883.
For 3 years, 1880, he was in Elmina under house arrest. They kept him there, hoping and trusting that a new king would be put in place instead of King Tackie Tawiah.
The Ga people refused to install another king. They waited until he was released.
But the Ga resolved that they would not change Tackie Tawiah. They wanted their king. If he would take 100 years to remain in Elmina, one day he will come back. to take up his position. So the Ga people then realized what the British were doing.
When he was reinstated, there was great joy in Accra.
Melinia domoshi mashebo, Melinia domoshi mashebo, Kortele yake Mantse Tackie yake mimbile. If you go, tell King Tackie Tawiah that I give him my respect. Why? Because Tackie Tawiah had been in exile in Elmina. So the male, the Ga people refer to chiefs as male. All along it was being sung. So when he was brought back from Elmina, these were the reigning songs on the beach.
So there are many things to know about Mantse Tackie Tawiah, but never forget that he encouraged Gans to take education seriously. Historians say during his reign, he supported the Basel mission to give his people vocational training. He resisted British influence, and some historians say it was during his reign that the Makola market was established. But that is another story to be told another day. His reign lasted 40 years. He died in 1802. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.